обливается, сердце кровью обливается, сердце кровью обливается, сердце кровью обливается.
Russians who come out and protest publicly risk several things. First of all, obviously, they risk being detained, which can lead to either administrative fines or prison sentences. But they also risk longer-term impacts. They might be thrown out of college or university. They might be dismissed from their job. The protesters' message is really quite simple. No war. That is what we see people chanting. We see them carrying signs that say those things. It's a very visceral, emotional reaction to this war, which to many Russians is kind of unfathomable, that Russia would be attacking Ukraine.
Protesters try to topple a bus and then set it on fire. Demonstrations against Sri Lanka's dire economic situation turn violent.
Dozens of protesters were injured during an attempt to storm the president's house. The authorities had to use tear gas and water cannon against the protesters who were calling for the president and the entire cabinet to resign over their handling of the economic crisis.
The government blames what it calls extremist groups for hijacking the protests, but others say public anger is the cause. The crisis has escalated rapidly over the past few weeks. The government doesn't have enough foreign exchange reserves to pay for fuel imports. Streetlights are being switched off as electricity runs out. And with food inflation hitting 30%, grocery shops are struggling to survive.
Most farmers told Al Jazeera they rely on their harvest to clear debts and build a stock of rice for their own use and money to last them through till the next harvest. But let alone settling debts, they now fear not having enough food for their families. Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Nanda.
Elsewhere, Nigeria fans stormed the stadium after their side lost to rivals Ghana and failed to qualify for the World Cup for the first time since 2006.
Fans threw objects at the Ghana players, smashed the dugouts, while police used tear gas to disperse them.
On the roof of this maximum security prison wing, inmates in Cuenca, Ecuador call out for help. Inside, they say it's too dangerous. Some were evacuated, but most were trapped by prison riots. More than 800 officers responded, but they struggled to stop the violence. The Interior Minister says tougher laws are needed.
Prisons, unfortunately, have become a permanent threat. It's been like this for some time, but today we want to and we will take necessary action.
Drug wars in Ecuador have led to a surge in gangs fighting over the lucrative drug trade. The competition often extends into prisons. More than 300 inmates were killed last year.
Members of the trans resistance of Texas and Tear It Up lied down on the Capitol steps pretending to be dead in protest of what they call Governor Greg Abbott's and Attorney General Ken Paxton's attacks on families with transgender children. They said they must do everything in their power to make sure the opinion does not become law.
Trans people have always been here, and quite a few of us are not going anywhere, and this law would only harm more children.
For the last 3 months, this type of civil unrest has become the norm as demonstrators protest ongoing kidnappings and violence. as well as mostly stagnant wages in the face of soaring inflation. Protesters in Port-au-Prince say life is becoming unattainable, and they're demanding that government officials do more to address the problems facing them on a daily basis.
Traders can't take to the streets, our children can't go to school because of the kidnapping and crime. Rising costs and inflation are only making things worse for us.
The war in Ukraine has hurt us a lot because imported flour plays such an important role. It has made it difficult to get wheat into Haiti. That's why it's so expensive for us, even if we can't afford it.
Haiti imports 70% of its food, and the UN estimates that nearly half of the population is in urgent need of assistance. Haiti's most vulnerable are the ones paying the highest cost, as there are no doctors or nurses to attend to their needs. The political paralysis in Haiti has only gotten worse since the July assassination of former President Jovenel Moïse. No date has yet been set for new elections, and organizers say they will continue to apply pressure until those in charge move forward with a change the country so desperately needs.
These are scenes not seen since the early days of the pandemic. It occurred after authorities suddenly announced a staggered lockdown late on Sunday, leaving nearly 6 million residents east of the Huangpu River just hours to prepare for a 4-day lockdown.
Shanghai really doesn't feel like the city it used to be. Take a look at the roads. Not a single car in sight, as public transport and ride-hailing services are suspended during the lockdown.
Half of Shanghai is enduring its first day of lockdown as the financial hub of 26 million residents struggles to curb a surge in COVID-19 infections.